my friends. Today I'm doing a review for you on the collapsible portable LED camping lantern. And it's on Amazon, and it's XTAUTO is the name brand. XTAUTO. And it's the lightweight, waterproof, solar, USB rechargeable LED flashlight survival kits for outdoor / lantern. And I saw really good reviews of this on Amazon. It had the solar in it, and I really liked that concept. You could adjust the light by adjusting how much you open it or do not. And you can use the lantern along with the flashlight if you wanted to use both at the same time and hang it from the ceiling. Where's that little do gadget? Right here. Hang it from the ceiling or a tree branch or whatever if you want both lights for various purposes to be used at the same time. At the same time, you can charge it using the standard wall outlet on one end, the 110, 115 wall outlet, and where it meets the other end, the two-prong micros, little two-prong female plug-in thing that comes with it, actually. You get 4 of these lanterns in one package. And that was attractive to me. And the whole thing comes in at just under $30. $29.99. All sounds good, right? 4.5 stars on Amazon. And I would agree that it's really a good concept. I love it. And it boasts a good long battery lifespan while you're using it, and it cuts off immediately on its own whenever you close it. Now, I charged them all up, getting them out of the box. I charged every one of them up. They came in partially charged, but I charged them on up all the way. I found that the red indicator light does not go off after they're fully charged, but generally just indicates that they're charging or on the charging cable or out in the sun to charge. And so I like that, but I wish that those indicator lights would go off to let you know when they're fully charged, so you can put another one on that single charging cable that you get, and so that you could continue on your charging of the entire 4. So they were really good. They held their charge for like 5 hours really good. And on the 6 hours, I saw some diminishment in the 5th hour. But I saw a real big diminishment in the 6th hour. And definitely by the 8th hour was not much more than a very cheap nightlight. So it seemed to me like I read that they claimed that it would hold its charge for like 12 hours to 24 hours, somewhere in there really good. And I can't seem to find that now, which is what I was looking for before I started talking to y'all. But 25 hours, more than 25 hours long does it hold its charge. And true enough, it might, but that would be so micro as far as what light it would put out that it would be really unworthy to claim that. It comes in at 4.5 stars by Amazon. I keep looking at the light on my microphone homing device on there, not at the camera where I'm supposed to see y'all. That light, it just catches your eyes at the color blue. And yes, I'm using that mic that I said I was going to give back or send back to Walmart because I didn't like the sound of it, and I still don't. But at $16, I decided until I get a good one, I'll just go ahead and keep it. And I mean, why not at 16, right? It leaves me a lot of room, movement, ability, and that was my last review, and I'll peg that in at the back end of this one, the mini lapel wireless microphone. Anyway, but 4.5 stars is what they give this little light with its lanterns, adjustable amount of light, and its flashlight that are usable at the same time. And the concept is really good. But here is the real pickler. It did start diminishing at only 5 hours, and I could tell. So I wouldn't boast 25 hours of light ability on this particular light. It really sucks that they are giving you that, and as far as, script on their page where they're selling this, they're giving you 25 hours light time on this, plus they said 25 hours or more long, and really it's only efficient at 5 hours, 6 hours. And I wouldn't even try to use it at 8 hours or up to 8 hours from 6 hours. It just really, it's too dim. And yes, the fact that you've got 4 together, maybe they will let you be able to see to feel your way around camp, but that's about the extent of it. Now, after the second use, one of the 4 lights will not light in the lantern part at all, and it's fully charged. Me being able to use the flashlight and it being very bright will show you that. No, I'm not aiming right at the camera. I don't want to blind you guys. But yes, the lantern will work and be very strong, but this is not lighting up, which tells you it's the bulb or the mechanical parts on the inside that keeps this going. One of the lanterns, after only 2 uses, and I'm talking about, well, the one time for 8 hours use where I was testing them out, it worked all the way. The second time I only used it for a very short time, and that was when my city's lights went out for about 2 hours. And then I started trying to charge it. The third time of pulling it out to use it, this is what I got: no light. I could use the lantern part, or the lamp flashlight part, but I didn't buy it for that. I bought them because you don't want to have to hold your lights around the house when the lights go out. And around camp, you want the same thing. You want to be able to set it somewhere and forget it. Be able to see to get around camp. And with these, you can, especially with 3, but you wanted 4 to light all 4 directions and make sure everybody's happy around camp, and maybe even have one to take as a flashlight when you got to go pee, and the other 3 are needed to be left around camp for other people that are waiting there. But you don't have that ability because you only get 3 lamps maximum out of this, and we're not saying that 2 won't fail or 3 won't fail, but only one has failed this part or this far, and the flashlight still works. I'm going to take those 4.5 stars down to 3.5 stars because they promise 4 lamps and you get less than 3. Even if it's a flashlight, it's still partially used or usable, so I'll give it that half star on that 4th lamp, right? And I took it down to 4.5 stars because that's what all of these massive amount of reviews gave it combined. 4.5 stars, but I banked on 4.5 stars. I didn't get it. I got maybe 3.5 stars. So let's take this one out of the equation. So here it does solar charge, but it takes 2 days now. And this is after only 2 chargings in the sun. It's gone from the first time I charged it, and it was partially charged whenever I got it. So I don't know how good or how much good that first day of charging them out in the sun actually did. But I do know that the time I charged it after that, it took 2 days to fully charge them, and this one didn't even light up in the lantern part, which is not due to the solar charge and not due to the flashlight, because the solar charge is charging the flashlight. Or I say that, but I did end up bringing it in and putting it on the power cord to charge it the rest of the way. How well it does actually charge a cell phone, I don't know, but let's say and look at it realistically, that the solar power charging of a cell phone from this, or the charging from the power cord from this as a solar charger, is only as good as the solar charging of this, correct? And that doesn't really work. So I want to take that 3.5 stars down to 3 stars. And I don't even really feel that it qualifies for that. These are very cheaply made. I found out whenever I got them. They do feel like a plastic. They're not a metal. And they do have ability to hang from a ceiling and be able to use both ends, provided both ends work of the light, you know, but it really just doesn't whenever they start failing you. And if one failed after only 2 uses, then when will all of the others fail? And I'm not going to take that long to do this review. They promised 4 lights. You should get 4 lights. Now we're down to 3 stars because we have defective material. That's a pretty big thing, and it is cost to bring it down from 5 stars to 3. Even if 3 of the 4 lights are still working, you know, and you can't bank on that holding up anytime in the future, especially if you're going to go out in the middle of the wild and feel secure with taking these little babies with you. So I don't like the lights. I wouldn't give them 5 stars. I'm giving them 3 at best, and that's kind of iffy in my opinion. The lights are kind of bright, up to 3 to 4 hours, and I do like them. Whenever I have 4 going around this 112 by 16 room, it does help me to see around the room during a power outage in my city. So I liked it when there were 4. But now I don't have 4. I would have to buy another whole set to get that 4. And then we don't know when some of those are going to fail, or some of these likewise, because they've already been used. So 3 stars on this, and that's pushing it. The price, I believe that I paid $19.99 for this set, at most $21.99 on sale. And so for that price, I think it was pretty good. But with what I know now, it's definitely not worth $29.99 or $30. It's just not. So I would look at some of the other sets if I were you, and just save your money. And that's Leanna's take on this particular matter. Thank you for watching this segment, and please hit the like button, at least if you think that I was anything of a help to you. Take care of yourself, and brightest regards. Bye-bye.